Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and finally, I can build my Praetorian Guard. The Praetorian Guard obviously being the mainstay infantry models so far for the Old Dominion. Now, like a lot of the Conquest models from Bellum games here, you do have the option of building them in a alternate mode. You can build them as the Praetorian Guard, or you can build them as Legionnaires. How do I know that? Because it says so on the box, and I know how to read English. Oh yeah! So you can see here, the Praetorian Guard are going to be armed with the shields and the Kopesh-like gladius-looking swords. Once the premier fighting forces of the Old Dominion, the Praetorian Guards eventually lost favor amongst their charges. The Saelosaurs, for being more loyal to their god than to themselves. Twice doomed for their loyalty, the Praetorian Guard now possess the dubious honor of being one of those few troops in the Old Dominion forces who retain some sense of self, despite possession by Haslia's power. Okay, I'll be quiet. Alright. So with the newer sets, if you haven't seen these, they have a nice QR code that gets you up to date on the game. All of the modern models have a actual printed instruction sheet with it. I like the leader with his winged helmet. So yeah, the Legionnaire, it looks like, are supposed to have the spears. Hastati? Is that what they were called? I don't remember. And then you've got these really nice Signifer style banners. Those are pretty cool. It's gonna be kind of fun to build. Okay, all of our bases where they should be. You got 3 stands of 4 models, so 12 dudes in all. Command cards. I like the fact that the Praetorians have those faceplates. I'm not super keen on undead dead faces, so I'm going to probably go with the guard. I might make a couple of Legionnaires just because, I will admit. Why not? I'm more inclined to play the Skirmish First Blood rules as well, especially now that I got my Ziliarch all done and ready to go here. It's like, he was my go point. If I had him done, then I was going to get to actually build these. Let's take a look at the actual sprues here. Zoom it in. Whee! So you can see we have a couple of different heads. Huh, they're actually 2 pieces, the front and the back. I wonder if there's any variance or if that actually... You know what, now that I think about it, probably because the Legionnaire, they're all wearing the same helmets, but the Legionnaires don't have the faceplates, whereas the Praetorian do. Look at the detail on the sculpts. They are definitely on the bigger side. Grabbing my ever-present Witch Hunter. So you can see they go up to about the chest of a more traditionally scaled wargaming figure. If you're not familiar, Conquest is at its own scale. It's a little bit larger. Sometimes that works. Some people don't like it. I personally do. Okay, this looks like the same sprue. Yes. I don't think there's any difference in the shields. Okay, nope. We get 3 of the A's. 4 of the A's. Huh, okay. So I guess it's 4 of the same sprue. That's kind of surprising. I'm guessing that's what it's supposed to be. And then we have the command sprue itself. Some more gnarled up undead heads. Our Praetorian leader looking like some serious swag with the feathered helmet there. And the little optional bits for the banner as well. So, nice looking kit. I am going to go start building these guys, and I can't wait to see how they turn out if I can pick them up. Alright, let's sit tight and see how they come out. Alright, I've been busy building Old Dominion dudes. So, look at this. I actually got them to fit on the base. These are the Praetorians. if I remember my terminology correctly. And it's funny because as I was building these guys, I'm still not 100% sure if I did all of their headdresses correctly. They looked so anemic and sad when they didn't have those shoulder pads on, but they made a world of difference once those were put on there. I still feel like their swords are very Kopesh-like. But they're pretty cool when they're in focus. See, I'm going to paint all those. I don't remember the term, the face masks. And you know what's sad? I'm going to admit this. When I was sitting down to build these, so I'm like looking at all the sprues, and I'm like, oh crap. I thought I was missing stuff. I thought that there were 4 bodies to a sprue because there were 4 shields. There was a ton, and I mean a ton of extra weapons in various, positions. So I'm like panicking. I'm going on the Parabellum website. I'm looking at the sprues online. I'm trying to figure this out, and then I'm like, oh, there's only 3 bodies on each sprue. Oh, okay, because there's 4 sprues here. That makes a lot more sense. So you can see everybody's in various positions. We've got various headdresses. It works out quite well. And then I went ahead and built a couple of Legionnaires up as well. The Legionnaires being the dudes with the spears, Pilum. They look really big for Pilum. I mean, these are thick. I don't even know how they carry them in one hand. But on the other hand, I don't need to worry about them breaking so much, I guess. So it's not really a huge significant loss. Took me a while to realize, and I had to look at the pictures again, that the curve, that kind of half circle, is on the top of the shield. I didn't figure that out at first. I apologize for not being the brightest apple in the bunch. And so the Legionnaires have a little bit different headdress. They have like a little pointy part that I accidentally clipped off on some of them. They also have more obviously undead faces. Is there anything stopping you from mixing and matching those heads together? Absolutely not. I don't know why, but I keep looking at the shields and thinking of scarabs. They give off a very Egyptian vibe, which is odd. They shouldn't. Here you can see the unit commander with his really fancy headdress. I would have liked to have seen a fancier weapon for them, or like an Optio type stick, but then again there is an Optio coming out, so no worries there. And I had to build the Signifer banner dude, and I cheated and glued everything to the base so that way at least he's a little bit more stable. I would have liked to have seen maybe some special different carvings or something to put onto the actual banners. I think that would have been really cool. Obviously, I guess if you just paint them differently, that might help. Grabbing a regular, lowly conquest human. You're in trouble, buddy. They're a good head taller than you. Now, granted, the Optio, or not Optio, but the commander there has a fancier headdress, but you can see here, our crossbowman's head barely comes to the shield. You are in trouble, my friend. Grabbing a Wadroon while I'm at it. You know, it's funny, the more time I spend with Conquest models, the more I really enjoy and appreciate the larger size of the scale. Now, I may not be the biggest fan of mass combat games. That's just my own personal preference, but at least from a skirmish standpoint, I really dig it. And the fact that we continue to see more and more designs and models coming out for the various factions of Conquest, it gets to the point where, who knows, maybe someday we'll actually be able to see like a tabletop game taking place in the world. I mean, role-playing game. I shouldn't say tabletop game. This is already, is a tabletop game. Still not as big as the Wadroon. I know our friend here in the back is a little bit smaller. He's a little bit older. One of the original starter set guys. And now with our Zilliarch to lead the way. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really looking forward to picking up and collecting a lot of the command models for the Old Dominion, because I had to do this. I had to bring them. I mean, if I'm going to have Romanesque models, then it's time for some actual Romans, right? Oh my goodness. So little. You can almost fit you with your headdress underneath the Ziliarch's sword. That's pretty funny. You barely come up to the waist of a legionnaire, my friend, or a Praetorian. This is a warlord. What is it? Republican legionnaire. Whereas this is an Imperial auxiliary from Victrix. I don't have any of my Imperial Roman warlord guys, but they're even smaller than the Republic ones. So yeah. If you want to have like supercharged evil undead legionnaires in whatever your tabletop game of choice is, I mean, that's certainly a doable thing. My first thought is Osprey had their Broken Legion skirmish game. If you wanted to do something crazy with these guys, totally you could go for it there. I was looking, what was I looking for? Oh, one of my War Games Atlantic guys. I don't know where they are at the moment. Oh well. Anyway, so definitely a fun kit. Be mindful of the fact that there's only 3 guys on each sprue, unlike me. And hopefully I'll be able to figure out a nice, simple paint scheme to get these guys started. And then hopefully in the future we will see the Moroi as well, the spirit dudes. But yeah, I love that Ziliarch. Gotta get finished with the priests now. So hopefully we'll see them soon. If you haven't had a chance to check out Parabellum's Conquest, like I've shown off many times on this channel, they have very unique models, and they are continuing to ever grow and evolve the game. If you like rank and file stuff, that is absolutely something that this game does well, I've heard. And if you're like me and like smaller scale skirmish stuff, that is totally viable as well. And I know Parabellum has put out a whole bunch of like they call samplers or starters or skirmish forces, where you get a little bit of everything and you're good to go for the game. So take a look at those. Take a look at the game itself. I will have a link down below for Parabellum's website, and hopefully there is something there to tickle your fancy. So with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.